speaking of a good sense of humor, pretty smart guy, Charlie Gasparino here. Obviously, we're talking not only about what's happening now, finding a replacement, but the fact that it's going to be a nasty couple of years, right?
It is. And just to highlight that, you asked Blake about what's the feeling in the press room. Right. I know some people down there. I know some people know some people down there. Just be real clear. These are the journalists down there. If you were to poll them, they would side with Acosta.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, there's just no doubt.
And overwhelmingly.
Overwhelmingly. They believe that the notion of him putting the hands on her is baloney. It's like, it speaks to the fact how much the administration hates the press. It is open war.
By the way, can they take his White House credentials away? Who decides that? I guess the White House, right?
The White House. I mean, the president doesn't have to hold press conferences. True. They don't have to do anything.
This extends to even getting to the White House.
Yes. You have to call up every day, apparently, and get a special pass to get in if you don't have that blanket.
Right.
But I think one thing that I think is that the media misses here is just how provocative these folks have become in questioning the president. Listen, you and I criticize Trump all the time. We pick him apart whenever we can, whenever he deserves it. But if you sat there yesterday, as you and I were watching it, I kind of cringed at some of the questions. They weren't questions.
It jumped the shark kind of stuff.
They weren't questions. They were like, you're an idiot. Please tell me why you are an idiot. I mean, it was almost that bad. So I think this will set the tone for what's going to go on in the future with the Democrats, because they're part of that coalition.
And their behavior then illustrates the very kind of behavior they hate in the president.
Yeah, now here's the problem that the president, listen, the media looks bad to a lot of people. Here's the problem the president's going to have. The media will have allies in the Democrats when they take over. And it's basically four major allies. Maxine Waters at Financial Services, Adam Schiff at the Intelligence, Elijah Cummings at House Oversight, and Jerry Nadler, who's
probably
the
most important of all
at Judiciary.
Right.
That is going to be the allies of the press that despises Donald Trump. So I'm just telling you, this is going to be a nasty 2 years. The stories that are going to leak out. I don't think Maxine Waters is going to spend a lot of time grilling Jamie Dimon. I think she's going to spend a lot of time investigating every financial aspect of Donald Trump. I think she's going to look at Ben Carson. Remember, Financial Services has some oversight over HUD. They think he's fallen down on the job, and they think that place is ripe for investigations.
What about just keeping the subpoenas going, looking at tax, all that stuff? I mean, is that really where we're going in the next?
I think so. I think they think he's sleazy. And,
so when Nancy Pelosi tries to dial that back a little bit, Chuck Schumer tries to dial that back.
Remember, that's the leadership.
I understand.
And they have
apparently they're going to go their own way.
Listen,
right?
Good cop, bad cop. It works every time. And I think that's what you see. Now, what's interesting about this is they opened up a political thing. And I think investors should be worried about this. What are the things broadly that Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Donald Trump agree on? Tariffs and trade war. That's usually bad for stocks. Infrastructure spending, blowing out the deficit on some big bill. Maybe they cut a deal on that. These are and breaking up companies. I mean, they both hate the fact that tech is too big. They would like to put a cap on Apple or more or less Amazon. They don't like the big media mergers. All those things I'm talking about are common ground between Nancy, Chuck, and Donald. And all those things are potentially bad for stocks. Blow out infrastructure spending raises the deficit, increases interest rates, stocks generally go down.
What do you see on all of that stuff? Anything getting done here? Because I see them. So, you mentioned the press at the outset, which was a canny observation, but I still think there is a tendency here where that rage, derangement syndrome, whatever you want to call it, is so over the top. They could shoot themselves.
Well, both the press,
and by the way, a lot of Democrats.
But the Democrats are much more tactful.
They might be, but they're also an investigatory zeal.
I agree.
Some of which might be justified, others not. But I don't know in that environment whether they feel there's a need to get anything done.
Well, here's the good cop, get bad cop.
Yeah.
You start squeezing Trump, and you get him to fold on infrastructure spending, a big blowout bill. You get him to fold and push the trade agenda even more, which a lot of Democrats agree with, and some other stuff. I don't think that's good for the economy. I mean, those are places where there are common ground, where you can see the bad cops, all the ones I just mentioned, squeezing him on investigations while he tries to cut deals with Nancy and Chuck to basically to push them off a bit. I'm telling you, we're in a different uncharted territory, and the press will be that very recalcitrant, adversarial. I've never seen adversarial like that before in my life. I mean, I know Trump could be a handful, but man, I've never seen reporters pose questions like, "You're horrible. Please explain why you're not." And that sort of press corps is going to lap this stuff up.
There's a way of being in your face without sort of losing your objectivity,
Yeah,
and I think what happens is they insult themselves.
Why couldn't you just
exhibit the behavior they hate in the president?
Couldn't you just ask the question, Mr. President, you ran a very divisive campaign. How are you going to bring the country together?
Right.
It wasn't that.
Who did that? Major Garrett's very good at that.
He's very good.
And there are some, I bias, Blake Berman's very good, but you have to avoid the temptation to be petty. If you're claiming that the person you talk to and ask questions of is petty, you really have to resist that temptation.
And it wasn't just Acosta, by the way.
No.
By the way, it is open war. I mean, have you ever seen open warfare between an administration? I mean, listen, you go back to the press conferences, Dan Rather, Nixon, back in the day. I was a kid, but I remember his very...
Remember when Nixon, you running?
Yeah, it was funny, but it was...
But it was rare.
It was rare.
Yeah.
Reagan, generally, remember he used to say, "I can't hear you" from the helicopter.
But there's got to be a way. Avoid the preaching on the left or the right. Just avoid the preaching and just sometimes, if you want, use the president's own words against him or his own stated policies. But the preaching and then feigning it as news on the left or right is insulting.
I've covered adversarial companies for years. I mean, Wall Street wasn't crazy about me. Believe me.
It wasn't.
It still's not. Right. I mean, Goldman Sachs, they still have a picture with my ex on it.
We have that here.
By the way, you expect them to be, yes, of course. Who doesn't love me? Right? But if you think about it, I always thought of it this way. That's part of my job. They're supposed to hate me and they're supposed to attack me. It's not really my job to go and, pose questions as answers.
Yeah.
And
who was someone who said, "Don't take the bait"? Don't take.
Why go there? You can be just as tough being nice.
Yeah.
Mike Wallace, perfect example. Tough as nails, but he posed questions. He didn't pose answers. He didn't ask the Ayatollah, "Okay, you anti-Semite, tell me an answer." He posed a question that got him to fess up to being.
And he didn't go for the lowest hanging fruit.
No.
Thoughtful.
But we're in dangerous territory with the Dems taking over.
We are. All right, we shall see what happens now in the back and forth.